Hey guys, Trevor Boone here from Emerald City Guitars. All right, so I've got a cool one. 1958 Gibson Les Paul Custom triple pickup with Bigsby. The full meal deal. So depending on how old you are, for me it was Musician's Friend, Guitar Center magazines, probably Guitar Trader, maybe Classifieds for some other folks. I remember going through, flipping through all the guitars, immediately go to the Fender Gibson page, you'd look through all the Gibsons, and the coolest one was the triple pickup with the Bigsby, all the gold hardware, and it looked like a black Cadillac. It was just so freaking cool. I fell in love with that guitar from the early days of flipping through the catalog, and still just when they come in, you just gotta kind of take a moment of silence and appreciate that big, beautiful Gibson Les Paul Custom with all the crazy, cool bells and whistles. And for those of you who have experienced a real 50s Les Paul Custom, Black Beauty, they are spooky. They've got some voodoo mojo to them. I love it. I mean, just right when you open the case, you just feel an energy from these guitars. It's real, I promise. So this guitar, right off the bat, it's 100% original. We do a full checklist, authentication, says finished, pickups, electronics, big old list, original. There's not a thing on this or a hiccup, which makes it really cool. There's a lot of hardware on these guitars. So, you know, you got the Bigsby, you've got this middle pickup here. In general, a lot of guys do like the two pickups, just that stop tail piece. In a perfect world, you'd have everything. If you had the resources, this is as cool as you can get with a Bigsby, just that full-on deal, and they go into their own territory. Something really kind of unusual, which I didn't know growing up. I thought this was just a middle pickup, placed like any regular humbucker, but they're actually wired out of phase. You get the amazing neck pickup, that really fat bridge pickup, and this middle position is really unique because it's out of phase, so it has that kind of twangy, honky sound, but it's a PAF. So imagine an out of phase pickup, which is generally kind of weak, but known for sticking out in the mix really well. You add that backbone of that PAF power, and it's really cool. Makes you want to play an entirely different genre, makes you want to pick up a slide. It's an inspiring instrument. This guitar is fairly light for being, you know, the 3 pickup model, the Bigsby, that's a lot of hardware, but it doesn't really lean into that crazy anchor territory. It feels good and balanced. Everything's kind of wearing down. It was played, but it was respected. You know, you see a couple of dings, but no breaks, no cracks, no rewiring, straight up. It's got the original hard shell case, and, all right, we've got the original handle. We've got a cable that looks probably like an MIJ a little bit later. And this is where I get really geeky. It's got the Gibson Screwdriver. You never see this. A long time ago, this fella told me that this is the rarest component to find in a burst case or a 50s Les Paul case, just because they're the first thing to lose. So I love when I see these little Gibson screwdrivers that maintain their place in the case. I mean, come on, instructions. All the good paperwork. It's got that smell, you know it's real, not one of those reprints. Can't beat it. So, I mean, if you're trying to fill that void in your collection, you've got your Burst, your Gold Top, you know, your Les Paul Jr., you might even have a Les Paul Custom, but you're gonna come across these in the book, and if you don't have one, I promise you this is as good as they get. I really expected this thing to weigh like 15 pounds, but it's a total ripper. It plays great, sounds awesome, and again, there's no story to it. I find that I don't want to necessarily categorize this as a novelty piece, but it's kind of an iconic guitar. And with those iconic guitars, when things are wrong, you know, it really is going to change where it's going to land as far as value. You want something like this either perfect and you want to pay a premium, or you want one that's totally beat for nothing. So this is not that player's guitar. This is for the person who wants that top tier collector's candidate. I mean, it's perfect. All right, so today we've got this 2-Rock Classic Reverb Signature. I love 2-Rock amps. They're another player in the boutique game that got there really early. John Mayer started out using these before he kind of transitioned to the Dumbles. That made them explode, and they still kind of linger around those crowds. They sound great with Strats, and they totally get that awesome kind of Mayer, Dumble, really powerful amps. And I think they shine when you're playing live or you're in a room. You know, when I plug in this amp right in front of me, it's kind of punching me in the face because it's ready for the racetrack. It's not just, you know, doesn't want to sit in the driveway. So we're gonna try to crank it today in our little acoustic room that we're doing today, and with the PAFs, I think it'll sound pretty cool. So the guy who brought this into me, he's a great friend of mine, really good player. He cares about his stuff. He has all the shipping boxes, all that jazz. They're perfect. Again, these are both no funny business, no issues, straight up. You'll be happy. All right, so we have Nick Mardon. He's a killer. He's in here. He popped in and he's going to do the demo today. Let's hear how it sounds. Thank you guys. I feel like Jimmy Page with this thing right now. It's 1958 Gibson Les Paul Custom, triple pickup with a Bigsby and a 2-rock Classic Reverb Signature. See you next time.